Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we are back with none other than Guess the Rank. I'm really excited to be back here with Guess the Rank, and if you're new to Guess the Rank, this is the first one you're ever watching. Basically, you guys submitted clips in one of my previous videos. If you missed it, you can get in on next week. I will be making another announcement for the next Guess the Rank, assuming this one goes well. But what we do here is I choose clips that you guys send me. I don't look at your rank before I open up the replay, right? I make sure I don't see it. Then I watch your gameplay, and based on how good or bad you play, I have to guess your rank. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully it teaches you a lot about the game of Dota as well while we have that fun. And let's get into it. All right, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the gameleap website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken and really take your game to the next level, I'm going to be able to help you, because sometimes the guides on YouTube, there's either not enough of them, they're not specific, or they're just tier lists, which I know you guys love, but at the end of the day, the gameleap website is going to help you get to the next level. So click the link down below and sign up. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with Bing Chilling here on the Bristleback. I'm going to try to mix up the roles a little bit, so we're starting with a safe lane Bristleback here. Something a little bit off meta, but definitely pretty strong in my opinion. So in the laning stage, what I really like to see is if people, in my opinion, have a good understanding of the most important mechanics on their hero. And in my opinion, the most important mechanic on Bristleback is the fact that the second quill does far more damage than the first quill. The first quill, you cannot last hit with the first quill. It does 25 damage. The second quill does 53, so you can actually use it to last hit. So if you want to last hit with the quill, you have to stack the quills. It has to be the second quill. So if he wanted to last it with quill like he's going to here, and if he wants to secure the range creep with the quill, which you generally should, then you either need to run up and quill it and hit it like at some really specific HP point, or quill twice. And he doesn't do that here, which causes him to lose not only the first melee, but the first range. And if he just had quilled the wave right away, and that was the second quill, he would have gotten a perfect 2 CS. A small adjustment goes a long way, guys. Now I'm going to skip ahead 30 seconds because he got a range creep denied on the second wave as well, and this is going into the third wave, and it's kind of the same thing. He could have thrown out a quill here onto the range creep and then done what he did, which is great. He stays in range of the range creep. You want to make sure you at least get the XP, but he actually is able to contest it because Techies runs to the right. But because of the fact that he hadn't built up a quill, there's no way you can last hit it. Obviously, it's way too easy for Dawn to deny when you have a 25 damage threshold to try to get the CS. And so, yeah, he loses 3 range creeps in a row, and in my opinion, that's unacceptable when you have a pretty easy way to secure it. So right then and there, just based on this information, I actually wouldn't drop him that low just based on this, because I think most Bristle players actually don't know this, which is kind of funny because I think it's like really important, but they don't really know this. So I wouldn't drop him necessarily that low. Good kill there. That was actually really good. But yeah, I wouldn't drop him below 5k, but I wouldn't put him above 5k just because like it's too important to get those CS. Alright, so in this clip here, his Oracle gets gone on. Let's actually see how he responds here. He's got 4 stick charges and a Fairy Fire, so definitely pretty strong. His Oracle just gets jumped from full HP, immediately quills. Okay, a little bit crazy to kind of run in, I feel, but Techies is overcommitting, and it's definitely a good punish to chase the guy down. So very nice. I kind of like that you kite here instead of auto-attacking because you were getting a little bit low. But yeah, the quills stack up. You know that you have a 9 stick and a Fairy Fire. Yeah, there's no way this is like 1k. Not to think that I'm thinking more so around 3k just based on the first 3 minutes of this game, just because of the fact that it's not really flawless, but it's like clean. He had a pretty clear idea that he could turn due to the Fairy Fire and stick, which requires pretty decent awareness, and so that was really well done. Would have liked the side pull here. Should have side pulled, right? This is pretty free. You can get the lane back. That would have been really nice because the lane is under the tower. You could have made sure that the next wave gets pulled back at least a little bit. So a bit of a missed opportunity in my opinion. And going for Ring of Health and a Vanguard, that seems completely fine. As you do get gone on here, probably dead. You do have a Lotus. Maybe you're fine. Gonna be close. Okay, that's fine. I mean, not a good death, but not the end of the world. All right, I just watched the clip. I'm about to show you guys. This is crazy, dude. This is crazy. Like, what are you doing? All right, so he goes in here, which, okay, fine. You get some harass, you get some chip. It's really good attack moving. Like, he's moving in between auto attacks, which is key. But why dive? Like, why are you diving? I don't understand. You weren't committed. I don't understand. What is the idea? And then you didn't even quill the Dawn again. You could have made sure you hit her, at least hit her with another quill to drop her low. I mean, you get the Techie's kill, but that is like super not worth it. That was... That... I don't know how to feel about that. Let's move on to the mid game. All right, moving on to minute 13. Somehow he is 7-2. I don't know how that happens. Going Vanguard, Shreds, and Aghanim Scepter, I'm totally fine with this build. I think sometimes you can pick up Soul Ring, but with the ease of getting a mana neutral item nowadays, you don't really have to buy Soul Ring on a lot of heroes that otherwise would, such as Doom in a lot of games. Honestly, never has to, often because he buys mana boots and because he gets a mana neutral item, right? You can reliably get Arcane Ring, Occult Bracelet, whatever it is. All right, so the next thing he's doing is he's actually invading the enemy triangle here, which I don't mind because of the fact that he's 8k ahead, which classic game leap submission. We call this the game leap classic for everyone who doesn't know. Anytime someone submits a game where their team is 5k ahead or more at like minute 15, it's kind of a game leap classic. To be fair, maybe 4k or 5k net worth is kind of reasonable and you certainly still could lose, but like these games where you're just 8k ahead at minute 15 are just, I don't know. I don't know how long this game goes because I didn't look at the pre-screen obviously for the ranks, but okay, so I do like his farming pattern here. Now, what I would like to see him do is take this Aghanim Scepter and go win a fight, right? When I'm playing Bristleback, I'm all farm. I'm farm. I will respond to dives if I have Goose skilled, which he did, and I like that. But I will primarily just focus on kind of defending my safe lane tier 1 so that the enemy can never advance into that area because I'm a Vanguard hero. And okay, this is a little deep. I mean, this is fine. I wouldn't have farmed it like that unless, I guess he's pressuring the tier 2. Okay, it's fine. You're actually getting most of the tier 2. This hero chunks. Obviously, this play is a little bit risky, but honestly, they probably can't kill you. All right, so yeah, I would love to see you connect to this fight. Okay, I wouldn't auto the wave there. I really want to see you get to this fight. I don't know what's happening here. It's not that this is really bad. Like, what you're doing is overall okay. I just want to replay it to kind of give my general opinion on how to be optimal in Dota, because I do think that's the, you know, that's what you should be striving for, optimal. So what I would do here is I just continue to quill the wave. I would not like turn around, and that auto was fine to get the creeps up the hill, but then he like hits again when he doesn't need to. And it seems like I'm nitpicking, but I even would be on intreads right now, and I would be spamming quills to up my movement speed with Warpath so that I can get to this fight as soon as possible, because you want to get to the fight as soon as possible to have your impact, right? So I don't really know what's going on, kind of taking a weird path, not using his shit on intreads. And okay, show up now. This is a little deep, but you're so far ahead where it probably doesn't matter. Okay, that guy's not gonna die, but good rotation. Now, what I would personally do here is actually run back to mid. You know what? I haven't played Bristleback in so long, I forget how hard this hero chunks. Find it a bit weird that you're not keeping up Warpath at all. I know you have mana problems, but I personally would keep it up a little bit and finish off this tower, but that's fine. I would also like to see him buy the occasional clarity here. You know, you will run out of mana, even with the Occult Bracelet, so the occasional clarity, lack of clarity, is a little concerning. That lack of movement to the bottom side, the lack of priority. I think this is probably like 3 to 4k, because everything is good. Like, everything's solid, but it's not super crisp, and 129 CS in a free farm game at minute 17 on Bristle is like, it's like okay. It's super solid, but it's like okay. To be fair, he's 8-2, so often fighting will cause your CS to drop, and that's okay because it's worth the trade if you're winning the fights. But let's move on to one more clip, and then we'll guess that rank. All right, so upcoming here, we're gonna have a major high ground fight that lasts over a minute. Let's get into it. So yeah, going up high ground, you want to keep the Warpath stacks going. Could have some mana problems. Okay, opting for the Vampire Fangs, probably really good on Bristleback, because you benefit from the lifesteal and the spell lifesteal, and it's actually really beneficial for going high ground because of the night vision, so you actually get a lot of benefit. I wouldn't overchase here. I don't want to tank the tier 4s at all. My main priority is just getting healed by Oracle. Like, you should continue to hit the tower. It's important you get progression on this tower, because that's the key to going high ground. Once you kill the tower, things get a lot easier, because no glyph will come out. They don't get the tower protection when they fight in this like area. So it's really important to kind of get this tower down, especially obviously so then you can start working on the racks. Okay, you dive a little bit here. I mean, kind of works out. You get a double. So typically I'm not a huge fan, but it's fine. Hooked under tower. All right, probably could have a bit of a better awareness. Are you fine? Oh, you're fine. Okay, no, you're not. You're fine. Are you fine? No, you're not. Okay, you have BKB. Jug does not have Omni. You get hooked. Okay, the BKB was probably a little preemptive because Pudge is never going to solo kill you, but it's not the end of the world. It's fine as we chunk down the Jug. Finish him off. Very nice. Okay. No real complaints here. Overall, pretty solid. The BKB usage was not great. I think sometimes these dives are stupid. Like, there's nothing else to say. Like, you're not getting progression on the tower, and Let me make it simple, guys. So basically in team fights, let's say your team is here and the enemy team is here, and you're in the middle because you're the one going high ground. If you run into the enemy team, your team that is here is then out of cast range and cannot back you up at all, where the entirety of the enemy team can then all attack you at the same time. This is what causes people to lose team fights when they're going high ground. It's a very simple idea, but I don't know, people just continue to make the mistake. So honestly, based on everything that I've seen here, I think that this is definitely an above average player. I think Bing Chilling overextends a little bit for sure, as we saw in the lane and now on this high ground. He definitely is not farming enough to be on. I say that he's 11-2 and he is top net worth. So like kills are better than CS guys, like for sure. And they should be prioritized, especially on a fighting carry like Bristle. But at the same time, it's a little low, like 184. It feels a little low to me, I will not lie. So I'm gonna guess, I think I'm gonna go with like high legend and say legend 4 for Bing Chilling. All right, legend 4 is my guess, and Bing Chilling is... What? Oh my, all right. Yeah, well, it's my first time back on Guess the Rank. Can you... I'm sorry, Bing Chilling. I don't mean to offend you. What is Divine 4? What did I say? 3.5, 4K? All right, I was pretty off. All right, so next up, we got Dope Man on the Darkseer. On YouTube, this is Lane Bruce. I didn't say it for the last one, but on YouTube, this is Lane Bruce. He sent in a match ID, said Hero Darkseer, and that's all you guys got to do to submit. So appreciate you submitting, Lane. And let's get into the game. And I am just choosing them at random. I'm really just kind of going through and choosing them. So it's completely at random. All right, let's get into Lane's gameplay. Right off the bat, the fact that he has these starting items means this guy keeps up on the meta. He knows what's up. Triple branch plus wand into Vanguard into mana boots. He's already got them queued up. Is that the right item build this game? Looking at their heroes, Vanguard looks wonderful. No matter who you're leaning against, it looks like it's going to be great. So definitely a solid item. Does he ship out tangos right away? Absolutely. All right. So we're off to a good start. Liking the items, liking how he's swapping things around, and let's see how he plays the first wave. Decides to shell the melee, that can be fine. Typically I pull aggro, but contested deny, that's okay. I would pull aggro here, so I wouldn't want a 50-50 VCS. We're getting a little bit advanced here, but I would like to quickly cover it. I'm immediately going to say that this player isn't above 7K, I think. I don't really know what 7Ks do, I guess. It's just, I'm trying my best to guess, you know? But what I would want to do is pull creep aggro here so that the Magnus cannot contest the denies. If he would want to, he would have to run through the creep wave, like he'd have to run through the shelled creep, and that would make it very hard for him. Now you get the CS anyway, which is great, and you're 4 for 4, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, wouldn't do anything here, nothing to do, just chill. Just chilling as you shell up Pudge. I would almost never use a shell on my position 4. I'm a Darkseer player myself. I would never shell my position 4 unless I'm about to commit for the kill. I would never, because you really can't shell a lot early on. Like, you're almost out of mana, right? So I would never shell like this because it's just a lot of the time it will just be completely wasted, which I have a feeling this one is. Even if he hits a hook, he can't even commit because he's half health. So this shell, unfortunately, I would immediately, just based on these few decisions, and I know this is crazy to people to hear like, you can't be 7K if you make these mistakes, but I kind of feel that way, to be honest. Like, using your mana pool in a way that will be completely wasted on a mana fragile hero is a big problem, as he gets skewered under. To be fair, I've made that mistake plenty of times. Oh! I have to eat my words immediately. It's so funny when this stuff happens where I'm like, you should never shell the 4, and then he gets a kill because of it. But obviously, I'm not going to take back what I said, of course, because it's like, on average, there's a good chance this gets wasted. You know, it's good play from the Pudge. Disruptor didn't kite out, because honestly, I don't even think Disruptor was supposed to die. Like, he could have ran away. The Disruptor could have lived, like 100%. All right, I don't know what to say. I'm almost certain that shouldn't have worked, but alas, okay, things are going well. You did get skewered under. Now I would focus, because I'm low on health, I'd focus on pulling aggro. So Dope Man definitely does not pull enough creep aggro, and if I was to put this guy in a 9 or a 10k average MMR game, he'd be getting his ass slapped and would be getting denied quite a bit. So, and that's just something you guys have to understand. Like, if you miss these opportunities or these mechanics, or you don't have them as part of your gameplay, you will not get as many CS as you could, and you will take a lot of unnecessary damage as you gain rank. Sometimes the hard part about Dota is people won't punish you for mistakes, and so it's hard to learn some of the time, but you know, you gain it over time. Like for instance here, I don't really like what he's doing enough. I'm nitpicking a lot on the small things because I think that this player, kind of similar to the last player, is like quite competent, similar to the Bristleback, is definitely quite competent. This is no noob, right? This is no Herald, no Guardian, no shot, right? Unless I'm like on crack. But the reason why I say that is because he is CSing well, his item build makes sense, like a lot of what he's doing is like reasonable, but then like all of a sudden he's just eating 3 autos for no reason. Just pull aggro and chill, right? Like you're not getting this range creep, it is what it is. Just, he's taking 4 or 5, you know, autos that he could have almost all avoided. Maybe he would have eaten 1 and maybe 2 of them, you know, instead of 5. So it adds up over time because now, due to the fact that he got skewered under and isn't positioning very well, he's getting zoned out of the lane, where this is actually completely avoidable due to the enemy's gameplay. So, ooh, debate. Yeah, but now he has to walk back to base, and that doesn't feel very good, right? Obviously, it's not the end of the world, because Pudge is actually going to get all the XP. Pudge is a ring of health! Shell yourself? No, you're going to get glimpsed! Oh! Oh, no! It's a disaster. Oh, God. I've made this mistake, but man, I've stopped making that mistake because damn, that shit sucks. All right. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. We'll make it back in. 8 CS in minute 4 after 4 CS in the first wave is unfortunate. That means he has missed about 20 last hits at this point, approximately. But it is what it is. Good vacuum there. Very nice. At least he has a ton of kills, so his net worth is going to look good. Being top net worth with 11 CS a minute 440 is criminal. But all right, great pull. All right, this guy, I can guess the MMR right here. It's like really high skill, but too inconsistent. Like he has got some really good ideas and some good gameplay, but like Disruptor's positioning sucks. The mag is not denying well. This Pudge has a horrible item build. He wasted shells. He's not pulling aggro properly, but a lot of the shit that he's doing is like mechanically sound. So he's probably divine like the last guy, if I had to guess. To be fair, I thought the last guy was legend, so maybe I should guess immortal. But yeah, you got the Vanguard up now at this point. Let's move on to the mid game. Let's actually look at a late game fight. So item build, okay, Greaves into pipe. Yeah, that's exactly what I would go this game, I think. Maybe I would consider Crimson against the likes of Void Spear, Magnus, Kunkka, because there is a lot of right click. So maybe I would go Crimson over the pipe this game, but pipe is better early game 9 out of 10 times. Most kills in the early game are going to come from magic damage. Like the people ganking are going to be like Disruptor plus like Void Spirit, and a lot of it's going to be magic early game, or even Kunkka. So, yep. I would probably still go Crimson though. Quadruple down on the auras at this point because of the fact that it's a great Crimson game. So personally, not a huge fan of the Blink. Obviously, I like Blink on this hero, but oh, that was yeah. I mean, the positioning here is weird. Like I don't really know. Personally, I wouldn't walk up to this mag. I mean, I guess it's a decent RP, but no one's gonna die. You guys are fine. Okay, Vac. Cliff, it's a Cliff Vac. Vac on the hill, Vac. What did you Vac to? You just Vac him in place? How do you not see this? Come on. You gotta see the triple hill Vac, or not triple because this guy's BKB, but you gotta see the double hill Vac there. Come on. Whatever, ends up not mattering. Yeah, I mean, your item build's too good. I didn't watch the mid game, but you have 171 CS, which is pretty solid. It's not perfect on this hero, but it's really good. It's definitely very good. So this has got to be, if I guess that the last game was legend, this is better, for sure. And the last guy was divine, so this has got to be low immortal or something like that. Because it's too crisp, his CS is good, his item build's clean. Okay, I would definitely go the Crimson. I don't really like Shivas here. I just feel like it's like, you already have Vanguard, and it's a good Crimson game. It's not like they have a Dispel for it. I don't think no one had a Nullifier queued up or anything like that, so personally I think it's a bit of a miss. Then I would go Ags after, just because I think the Ags is kind of broken. It's really strong. But okay, farming it up. Love the farming efficiency here, using Surge, team taking Roshan. This has got to be immortal. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm about ready. Let's watch one more team fight, and then I'll take a guess. Okay, coming into mid here. Blink Vac, free. This is free, 5-man. Take it. Bro, you can't get 3 with that, baby. Come on, man. How do you get a 3-man Vac there? You have a level 15 talent? Come on. Are you kidding me? That's the freest 5-man Vac of your life. Like, literally, it's blink here and click here. How do you miss that? Come on. Come on, baby. How are you not gonna find man back there? All right, whatever. It is what it is. Gotta pop the pipe. Pop the Greaves. Oh, your drow kind of died because you're not popping auras. So maybe that's actually gonna lose you the fight. Partially. Ugh. I mean, I maybe you win the fight anyway. This DK might carry, but all right. No, I mean, to be fair, you actually could have carried this fight if you played it perfect. I'm sure, you know, I obviously would never just only blame him for it. Plate mail in the backpack, but more importantly, that was a 5-man back, for sure. And then you got to pop Greaves' pipe a little bit faster. Like, I mean, okay, you were stunned. Okay, you couldn't have popped it there. You were stunned. So I can't say it there. You popped them pretty fast. Honestly, know what? I can't. Nah, you're fine with the auras. That was fine. I don't think most players would have hit a 5-man vac there, to be fair, but I'm just saying, like, it was definitely possible, and I definitely saw it because I'm the greatest player in the region. So it is what it is. But all right. Yeah, fight ends. I'm gonna say immoral. Pretty good mechanically, good CS. Clean gameplay, had a lane with a punch and did well, which is like an accomplishment in and of itself. I don't know the region, so it really depends on the region, to be honest. I'll just say low immortal. Nah, this guy's a smurf. He's gotta be a smurf. This has got to be a smurf. There's no way. There's not a shot. There's not a shot. Come on, you cannot, nah, I'm not buying it. 1,000 games and he's playing like that. Either this guy is a League of Legends player who just came to Dota and like has good mechanics because of that or whatever and follows gameleap guides, so you know he like buys the right items and shit. But nah, there's no way. I wish I could smurf proof and know, but there's no way. There's no Crusader player who is ever top net worth on Darkseer. There's no Crusader player who has the ability to get 205 CS and have this good of a kill score. No offense to you Crusaders. Occasionally you might, but there's no way. All right, so getting into the last and final game, we have bot David. Maybe he's actually a bot and I'm just getting pranked. But he said, Jakiro, we were losing hard in the early game, but in mid game we get momentum, but at the end we lose. It was a great match. Hopefully you guessed correctly. I hope so too, because I've had no success. So thank you, Doctor. Let's get into it. Starting item build makes me want to vomit in my own mouth. So this is what I'm talking about. There's no way. All right, this is actually what Crusaders buy, all right? This is like 2 or 3K MMR. There's no way you can get to 4 or 5K with these starting items. It's impossible. You don't trade effectively. You don't have a Sentry Ward to deblock camps. You don't have Blood Grenade on Jakiro. You don't have a Clarity. You have Mana Boots queued up, which is insane. Because how are you going to win the laning stage if you don't buy more than one set of regen? There's no way. There's no way. So this immediately, no offense to you, bot David. I hope I'm probably offending you a little bit, but I'm being honest. All right, that's the point of this video. I'm trying to teach people. I have to say the truth. But okay. Oh, you do have a Sentry. I was wrong about that. Into laning stage, you're against an AA and a Razor. So yeah, the main thing I like to focus on is how people trade and how they cast their spells. So on Jakiro, you can look for 2-man Qs. See, that one wasn't very good. The reason why this Q sucks is because the key to using good Jakiro Qs is making sure you get value out of the movement speed and attack speed slow. What I mean by that is when you use Q on someone, you want to make sure that you're actually auto-attacking them in tandem with that. Because if you're not, you're just kind of nuking them, and that's not that good. It's a lot of mana for just 100 damage, right? You want to get 100 damage from the nuke, and then an extra 100 damage from auto-attacks because they're running away from your fire. So this Q here is not very good because of the fact that after you use it, well, it only hits one hero, which is sometimes okay. That's actually often fine and what you should do. But, you know, it's so far away from you and it's like in between this creep wave and the upcoming creep wave that you actually cannot use it at all. So that was certainly not the best usage, definitely not what I would recommend to do. And yeah, from there, I mean, to be honest, the laning stage, it's going to go poorly with these items. Like, it is what it is. That was also not the time to trade. The reason why this isn't the time to trade is because of the fact that you're in a 2v1 scenario. So when you're trading as a position 5, you want to make sure that you get value out of your spells, number 1. Number 2, you've eaten a tango so that you have regen going while you're trading. And number 3, you're not in between the enemy support and the enemy core. Because if you do that, right, because he's kind of in between them here, right, sort of. But also Razor has nothing to CS right now. There's nothing for Razor to have to last hit. So Razor can spend all of his attention going to the Jakiro and helping AA trade. You do not want to trade when the enemy core has free time, essentially, right? You don't want to trade then, because then this is what happens. Razor comes over, and once again, your Q kind of gets wasted. And so now you have no more Qs left because you don't have a stick, which you probably should, right? You don't have a stick, you don't have a clarity, you haven't bought a salve, you're just gonna run out of regen and lose the lane with these items. Frankly, yes, you could trade perfectly and get away with it, I guess, but for the most part, unblock small camp. You didn't, okay, and once again, now, you haven't blocked the large camp and you haven't unblocked the small camp, right? And the sentry should be used for one of those. You should either unblock the small camp in the first 2 minutes of the game, or you should block the large camp so that the enemy never has an opportunity to side pull. So really, to be honest, I would say the only thing I like about David's gameplay here, which is, it sounds harsh, but once again, I'm just being kind of real, is that he's popping his tangos efficiently. It's actually an important skill to keep your regen up and keep your health up so you can continue to trade and not die when the enemy commits on you. So overall, you know, there's some good things here in that. It is good that he's casting his Q in general, but the lack of the small camp pull, like, you desperately need a pull here, right? Hopefully he goes for it. Okay, you do go for it, which is good, but you're going to miss it, unfortunately. And now Spectre's screwed. Yes, there is something Spectre could do about this. I'm sure he could have played the lane perfectly if he's like Tundra Skeeter, but it is your job as a support to try your best to keep the lane in a good position through pulls and by blocking the large camp. And that's just not happening here, right? Also, you do not have regen, so you cannot feel comfortable trading as much as you would want. It's not that you're not trading, it's about trading as much as you could, right? It's because people will say, I am trading, Speed, I am trading. Are you trading as well as you could? If I was to run a bot simulation that would figure out the best way to trade, are you doing close to that? And I just think that the answer here is no, due to the lack of regen. The Qs, actually that Q was good. The one he used a moment ago was very good. It actually got a lot of value. That one not so much because it's going to hardcore push the creep wave. And once again, you're not getting value. So I would say one of the Qs was good out of, I think, 5. And then I would be spamming the E a bit more to trade as well. So laning stage, not great. Maybe he's actually a solid MMR due to gameplay though. And that can be a reality for a lot of support players. Maybe their laning stage isn't great, but they have a lot of good concepts like stacking. So this is wonderful. Gets a D ward in the jungle, gets a stack down. Okay, this ward seems pretty pointless considering you already have one here. Now you're placing a ward here. They give pretty similar vision, so this is it's just redundant vision and in my opinion a waste. Also at this point in the game, I would be pairing together with my Invoker or my Spear Breaker to get kills. So I would be pinging Spear Breaker to like charge AA and I would be moving forward. Like at this point in the game, I'm watching you kind of run around in circles in your triangle. I love stacking. Now, don't get me wrong. I love stacking. Like I love when my support stack for me. But you can't even stack this game because no one can take the stacks. Unless this guy is a blade mail. Okay, he is a blade mail. Okay, you're the goat. Never mind. All right. Well, I'm wrong. That's really funny that you have a tome in your quick buy, considering it doesn't exist. That's pretty funny. But like watching you kind of AFK here. I mean, I hope you stack at least. Come on, you can't sit here and not stack. Ugh! Come on, David. Damn. Ugh. I don't want to guess Herald, like, cause this gameplay is like the most AFK thing I've seen. I really hate being so harsh, and I know the comments are gonna also be harsh on my man David. Let's be a little bit nice, guys. All right, I don't know what point of David's progression he's in. You know, maybe he doesn't have a lot of time to play Dota or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, what I would suggest, David, if you're trying to get better at the game, is really to try to make things happen on your spikes. This is the strongest your hero is often going to be for the first 20 minutes. Then your hero kind of comes back online a bit later on with max PSYCHOPATH. You're really strong. Like max Q, the Q does 400 damage, as well as a 40% slow and a 40 attack speed slow on a 10-second cooldown. This is easily one of the best abilities in Dota in the early game. And then Macro Pyre is also an incredible ability in the early game. And as a result, you want to be using these abilities and harassing people. For instance, this is actually a great play. I would like to see you lead with the Q, and the reason why this execution is not perfect is the 40% movement speed slow from the Q will actually enable you to get more damage out of your ultimate, because if they're slowed, they will stay in the ult. So you don't want to do it in opposite order due to the fact that they will get out of it. So unless Spirit Breaker is using ulti, then it's okay to do this. But for the most part, try to use your Q first. It's definitely a better habit to be in. But yeah, this is a wonderful play. The key though is making plays like this happen every single time you have Macro Pyre and not running around in circles in your triangle and stacking if you are going to run around in circles in your triangle. And so before I guess David's rank, I do want to let you guys know that we will be doing Guess the Rank more frequently. I definitely plan on it. Don't submit your replays in the comments of this video because that is not where I'll be selecting replays from. I will let you know in one of the upcoming videos within the next week. So within the next 5 videos, I will ask for more replays in those comments. So make sure you like the video. This video, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss uploads and so you can hear. I will say it in the intro of the video so you don't have to, I guess you don't have to watch the full video to know, but I'll say it in the intro of the video and yeah, you guys can hopefully be featured in the next episode of Guess the Rank. But all right, let's guess David's rank. I'm gonna have to kind of stick with my gut here and say that this is probably a Herald or Guardian. Some of his spellcasting is pretty good, so I don't want to say Herald because honestly, the item build is clean. He's buying sentries, he's buying wards. The item build is clean, like he's stacking. So it's probably not Herald, but due to the lack of item build in the early game, the lack of pressure to cast spells and get shit done is also a problem. But I don't think it's that low. I really don't. Like, the Spectre's item build is good. To be fair, he still has a Tango at minute 20, but this guy's item build is good. Like, this guy's item build is good. So I don't think it's that low because I don't know, at least the people around him seem reasonable. This shit is insane. What's the casual headdress for? That is nuts. But all right, outside of the Abaddon, yeah, I'm gonna go Guardian because I'm gonna say high Guardian. I don't think this is Herald because a lot of the things he does is like too good for Herald. But all right, let's go with high Guardian and say Guardian 5. I'm gonna feel so bad if this guy's like Legend. If this is Legend, I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. And he is. Oh God! All right, I'm pretty close, right? Oh, I'm way off again. This is Archon? How do you guys get stuck in Herald or Guardian? How do you get... What are you doing if you're in Herald or... If this is Archon, how are you in Herald or Guardian? I don't understand. Are you literally like eating food in the middle of the match? Like, are you in the middle of a phone call or a Zoom meeting in the middle of a match? How are you Herald or Guardian? I don't understand. How am I way off? Like, I don't... All right, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize, David. I guess you'll get to even higher ranks if you fix the things I suggested, but thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Guess the Rank. If you want more to Guess the Ranks, make sure you comment down below that you enjoyed the episode and like the video so that the YouTube algorithm is like, woo! And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace! And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace!